Welcome back to the Citizens Fancast with a new and improved intro. So if you're new to the podcast, obviously you don't know any different, but new intro. Been thinking for a while that I need something different. So that's a new intro. Let me know if you like it or you hate it. Probably doesn't matter because I don't think I'm going to change it again for a while. So regardless of that, thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I am your host, Evan, and today we got some title talk, right? We, unless you live under a rock, you know that we did the four-peat. So it's a good day. It's going to be a good episode. It's got a lot to cover. We got the Spurs match. We got the West Ham match. I got a little bit of a buzz going because I'm still celebrating the title. So this episode is unofficially sponsored by Michelob Ultra. And so what a week and just what a club we support, right? It's incredible. A four-peat. We made history, and that's it. That's all that can be said. No team has ever done it. It's going to take another 4 years to even replicate it, 5 years to beat. And honestly, who says we're even done yet? Players are already talking about the five-peat. So who knows? Who knows? But not something to cover today. Obviously, we're still celebrating the four-peat. Not going to get too ahead of myself and jump right into a five-peat because we got a whole season yet to go. Have no idea what's going to happen next year or anything like that. But thank you guys for tuning in. One quick announcement before I get into the content of the episode here. If you missed it or if you don't follow me on Twitter or Instagram, merch is live. So merch, I released some merch, some with logo on it, some title merch. There'll be other things coming as well throughout the summer, throughout the year, just as time goes on. Just some things I think about or whatever, something clever that comes up that I think should go on a shirt or something. So check that out. The link is in my bio on Instagram and Twitter. Like I said, if you don't follow me, go give me a follow over there. And with that being said, also, I'm going to jump back into YouTube. So the videos are going to be back on YouTube if you so please to watch it there. Feel free to do so. And I'm hoping at some point these episodes will not be pre-recorded and they will be live. So live episodes on YouTube. And then I'll repost the recording on Spotify and all that if you don't care to watch the video or watch it live. But hoping to do that fairly soon. I'd love to get it up and running by next week. Not sure if that's going to happen or not. I still have to figure out what I'm doing because at times I'm technologically incapable, which is wild. But anyway, that's not important. That's the podcast announcements that I have for you. So if you're watching on YouTube, welcome back. You get to see my very unattractive face. And so thank you guys for tuning in. If you're listening on Spotify, still welcome. And you just get to hear my voice. So thank you guys for listening. Let's dive in. Spurs match last Tuesday. Starting lineup. Ederson, Diaz, Akanji, Walker, Guardiola, Rodri, Kovacic, Bernardo, De Bruyne, Foden, and Haaland. So basically what I predicted, I said if it's not broke, don't fix it. And that's pretty much what we did, right? No changes in the lineup, no injuries. Obviously there's an injury to Ake, so that little change, but kind of what I figured that he wouldn't start the match. If anything, he'd make an appearance. Did not do so, but it's for the most part what I figured. But starting lineup, that was it. Ederson, his 250th appearance in the Premier League, so credit to him for that. Unfortunately, wasn't one to remember because as I get into the subs, Ortega and Doku came on for Ederson and De Bruyne in the 69th, and Alvarez in for Haaland in the 95th. And I'm assuming if you're listening, you watched the match, followed along with the match, knew what happened in the match. Ederson, collision with Romero, and what a collision it was. So apparently fractured his orbital bone, I believe is the correct term, his eye socket for less of a professional way to say it, and missed our match against West Ham as well. So unfortunate for him. He's had a rough season. He's taken a lot of hits, a lot of beatings, and he's a true fighter and a warrior because he did not want to come out. He was pissed off about coming out, and he wanted to play. And good for him for that. I applaud him for that. I'm glad he came out just because of that. And what a cameo appearance for Ortega. Might have won us the trophy. So incredible by him, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Possession 46%, actually outpossessed by Spurs, and I think that's just kind of the way they play under their new manager. And I think it's only up from there. I expect them to be better next year, so might have a new challenger for our title fight as opposed to what we've had in the past couple of years. But final score 2-0. Haaland in the 51st minute on a assist from De Bruyne, and then a penalty in the 91st minute that was earned by Jeremy Doku. So early thoughts in the match, basically they came out swinging, and by swinging I mean their legs at our players' legs, mostly Foden, hacking them left and right. They went the whole first half, or most of the first half, without a card. I don't understand how. Just basically, I don't know if it was intentional or just how Spurs play. I haven't watched them a ton this year, but when I have watched them, I feel like that's just kind of the way they play. Just their defenders are just unhinged when they're going into tackles, unfortunately, and I think that's why. I mean, I feel like they've gotten quite a few red cards this year. I know against Chelsea they got 2 red cards. I watched that match, and I think it's just the way they play. And some teams play a little more aggressively. It's tough when you see your players getting attacked like that, constantly just getting hacked down, and it's a little worrisome just on the way of you don't want your players to get hurt. Obviously, we have an FA Cup final coming. We had Saturday yet to finish off, and this match was still going on. It was still wide open. First 15, 20 minutes, wide open match. We created more chances, but no finishing. So it was a difficult start to the match, and just when they're hacking players down like that as aggressively as they were, it really makes you worry about getting an injury. But for the most part, we weren't creating too many chances. They had an early chance in the 6th minute. Ederson saved that. An incredible save for him. But we had some chances, couldn't convert. Kind of noticed early Walker had a lot of space down the right side. I think they've seen what we've been doing lately with Guardiola on the right or on the left, and wanted to neutralize that. So they had a little more bodies that way. Walker had some opportunities from the right side then, like I said, and was able to play some balls in. Fortunately, couldn't convert. Didn't have a ton of incredible chances in the first half. We had some decent ones. Obviously, people freak out and we're panicking, and you guys know me. I haven't panicked. I've been here the whole year saying we're fine. We're going to be okay. And I trust this team, and I never going to admit that we were out of it until we were officially out of it. And that's the optimist in me, and it worked out pretty well. I stayed pretty stress-free for the most part this entire season, and at the end of the day, we were able to pull it off. So, but it wasn't the greatest first half, but it could have been worse. We've played worse, but I think going into the second half, kind of my thoughts were just needing to attack a little bit more down the wings. A lot of space on the right side particularly, but we've been playing so central and compact lately, and to ask Walker or even Guardiola if there was some space there to move up into that space and really fill it, leave us a little bit exposed defensively, just on the way of, they have speed, they have Son. We know how Son has burned us in the past, and it's just not something you probably want to leave yourself open to. So probably why we didn't really utilize that space as much. It would have been nice to see maybe Foden, Bernardo, even Kovacic, De Bruyne move out into that space, fill that space, see if we can get a ball played in and create an opportunity. But at the end of the day, it didn't really matter that much. So for the most part, second half started good. Spurs like to play out of the back. Didn't work for them. Akanji with an interception got us an incredible pass to De Bruyne, which got us an early chance, got saved. And basically, as we're going the first 45, 50 minutes, and it's kind of wide open, my main thoughts are there is no way possible that we can concede in this match first, because if we concede first, I don't think we're winning this match. And that was the most worrying part for me, is as much as it felt like we were in control and had our chances, it kind of goes back to the possession stat, right? They had more possession, they had their opportunities, they created some good chances. Ederson made some saves. There were opportunities for them to get in and create something and score, and we were just lucky that they weren't able to do so. But at the end of the day, we got in behind. Bernardo slotted it in to De Bruyne. But before that, I want to point something out, because I've seen a lot of discussion of people who don't understand football at all saying that, well, Foden didn't do anything in the Tottenham match. And either they didn't watch or they don't understand, because Foden wins the ball back at half, crosses it in, really nobody there to get on the end of it. We pick up the ball. Bernardo slots the ball back in behind to De Bruyne, and De Bruyne signature pass across to Haaland, a tap in. And my first thought when it went in, I didn't even celebrate. In all honesty, I just sat there because I thought it was offside. I wasn't making any move until I knew for a fact that it was onside and that we were actually leading. But it was close. It ended up being onside. We went up, and the next thoughts are don't let up. Don't let up. We got to go kill it off, get that second goal. Spurs are dangerous. They're dangerous on the attack. They have that speed and Son, like I said. So we got to go and kill it. And obviously Spurs came back at us and were able to get some chances. But, at the same time, we were maintaining. And then an incident that really pissed me off, because I've seen red cards for less, and De Bruyne trying to carry the ball out of the back, move it into the midfield, and Sarr basically just puts cleats right down his Achilles, stopped a counterattack. Again, I've seen red cards for less, and I don't know how you look at that and say, yeah, that's just a yellow. It's irritating, it's frustrating. It's kind of like I said, when they play a certain way. I think other teams, if they were playing Spurs, Sarr would have seen red. I don't have to mention the teams. We all know who they are. But unfortunately, he didn't. De Bruyne was down. He looked like he was in a lot of pain. Haaland, the look on his face was what worried me the most, because he seemed extremely concerned. Don't know what was going through his mind, but it was definitely concerning. And then De Bruyne just didn't look the same after. And then obviously ended up coming out for Doku. And then a couple minutes later, it gets even worse. Ederson stops across, and Romero just puts his leg right through Ederson's face. Like I said, fractured his eye socket, and no red card. I'm kind of just sick of seeing our players literally get their faces fractured and no card being given. Saw it with De Bruyne a couple years ago, with Rudiger in the Champions League final. Just a yellow card. Again here, just a yellow card. And at the time, on the broadcast, this is what honestly pissed me off the most. They're like, yeah, we can't show a replay because some replays are just too graphic for us to show. So it's too graphic to show. In my personal opinion, once they did show it, it wasn't too graphic. But it's too graphic to show, and yet we're not giving a red card for that. And I don't understand how you can fracture somebody's face, literally break their face, and not see red for it. And it's unfortunate. I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. Again, other teams, that would have been a red card, but what are you going to do about it, in all honesty? So it's Ederson wanted to go. It looked like he literally passed out on the field, and it's credit to him, but discredit to the Spurs fans. You know, I've been back and forth on how I feel about Spurs fans. For the most part, I didn't think they were that bad. And then years ago, I went to the match in Nashville against Spurs. We dominated them 3-0. And where I was sitting, I was around quite a few Spurs fans, and they were just assholes, in all honesty, in a friendly. And it's just, it was annoying. So I was a little down on them. And then, you know, this week they're all making jokes about how they want to lose the match and whatnot. And then I was like, okay, maybe they're not that bad. And then we get back here, and 2 of their players should have got a red card. And the Spurs fans are just booing Ederson and De Bruyne every time they get the ball. And it doesn't make any sense, because if your players weren't committing red card challenges, our players wouldn't have gone down. And I don't know what you're even booing, in all honesty. Like, what is there possibly to boo when your players are literally trying to physically injure our players? I don't understand. And maybe I need to be English to understand it, because I don't understand. I don't understand how your players are going in and having these dangerous tackles and just dangerous plays in general, and our players get back up and they're limping around, some passed out, fractured face, and you're booing them because they went down injured. I just don't understand how your IQ can be that low. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I'd expect that from Arsenal fans or Liverpool fans or United fans, but Spurs, come on. Be better. Be better. What are we doing? That is terrible. Like, you are a terrible human being if you boo someone for going down for getting their face fucking fractured. How fucking stupid do you have to be? And, like, I really hope all of them went home and felt bad about that, but they probably didn't. So, it's whatever. It's football. We move on. We got their trophies. They don't got shit. And, yeah. And back to that match in Nashville. I'm glad y'all lost. I'll throw y'all out there because it was in Nashville. So, but anyway, moving on. Akanji, I thought he was playing an incredible match, and then he wasn't. He gave the ball away, and Ortega made the save of the season. And that wasn't his only save. He made 2 or 3 incredible saves, kept us in it, but stopping a one-on-one against Son is things that save titles and win titles. So credit to him for that. Incredible save of the season, in my opinion, and one of our moments of the season. So incredible from a backup keeper. And I've said it before, I truly believe he is in the top 3 of keepers in the Premier League. And that's not a joke. It's probably a little biased, but it's 100% the way I feel. And he's proving it as well. A little bit of a funny story. My brother was actually watching the match, and he's a Chelsea fan. And he texted me after, it wasn't even the Son save, it was well before that. And he said, you should sell Ortega to us because he's a lot better than what we have. And it's just funny to hear things like that. I apologize. If you're watching on video, never mind. Moving on. I thought on the camera I saw a bug on the wall right up there. I think it's just a smudge on my screen. Not important. Sorry for disrupting my flow here, but anyway, if I was smart enough to edit this, I'd edit that out, but I'm not going to. So carrying right on. But Ortega is just incredible, and made that save, got the ball back, and we win the ball back in the midfield. Foden plays an incredible ball across. Doku gets in, cuts inside. He gets tripped, and gets a penalty that killed off that match. And at the end of the day, Foden created both goals, and that's not going to show up in the stat sheet, but he won us that match. 100% he won us that match. And that's why I say if you don't understand football, you don't understand what he did. And it's just those two things that, winning the ball back, making that play, winning the ball back on the first one, making that pass on the second one. He doesn't get an assist for that, but he does, people who understand see what he did. And I've seen a lot of City fans giving him credit for that, and credit where credit is due, because he deserves all of the credit for that. But Haaland, of course, buries the penalty. Players celebrate. I don't think I've ever seen them celebrate a goal like that. And that's including the Champions League final. They were fired up. For anyone saying they were going to get complacent or not care anymore, 100% wrong. But this match in general just kind of proves what I've been saying over the last couple of weeks, where whether you play 5 minutes or you're a starter and you're playing 85 minutes, every player has a role, and every player's had a role this season, whether it's been a small role or a big role. Ortega coming off the bench, making incredible saves. Like I said, Ederson's taken a beating, an absolute beating this year. And every single time Ortega was there, ready to step up and fill in and really just give us what we needed in a match. Be able to keep us to hang on. And, Doku's been incredible. In my opinion, he's been our super sub in the second half of the year. Just being able to come on in matches late with his speed, with his pace, and attack tired defenders and just absolutely destroy them. And then, you had the moments like Oscar Bob against Newcastle. Oscar Bob didn't get a ton of minutes this year, but that Oscar Bob goal won us the title. We don't win the title without that goal. We'd lose it on goal differential. So every player had a role. They stepped up. They knew their role and were able to just do what they needed to do to help contribute to the title. And that's what I love about this team. Everybody buys in. Everyone's able to buy in and able to contribute in some way. So for me, man of the match, Haaland, just because of his goals, basically. I mean, it's hard to choose. Could have gone to Foden, could have gone to De Bruyne, Akanji, like I said, and Ortega even. Ortega actually won man of the match. And I think I'm going to change my answer, actually. My man of the match is Ortega, not Haaland, because he won us that match 100%. But that being said, moving on into the West Ham match. So, into the final day, we know what we need to do. A win wins us the title. A win, we get the title. A draw, we could still win the title. But we don't need Arsenal to drop points. And obviously, if we lost, we still would need Arsenal to drop points in some way. So the lineup again: Ortega, Diaz, Akanji, Walker, Guardiola, Rodri, Bernardo, De Bruyne, Doku, Foden, and Haaland. So a little bit of a switch there, just Doku in for Kovacic, and I think that's just because West Ham wasn't going to come at us as much as other teams would. So just defensively, Kovacic wasn't needed, and Doku kind of cooked their defenders in the last match. So he was allowed free reign to do it again, and boy did he! Because wow, what an incredible performance by him. But getting into the subs, Akanji off in the 71st for Ake, and then Kovacic on for Foden in the 91st minute. And I think that was just a little bit of protection for Foden, because apparently every team just goes straight for his ankles every time he moves. So his existence just gets a slide tackle for his ankles. I'm surprised Ronnie just doesn't slide at his ankles when he's at home, because I feel like everyone just does. But I can't confirm if Ronnie does that. Actually, he might actually do that. So I'm not going to speak on that fully. But anyway, final score, 3-1. Foden in the 2nd minute on an assist from Bernardo. Again in the 18th minute on an assist from Doku. And then Rodri in the 59th minute on an assist from Bernardo Silva. So possession, we had 71%. Honestly, I was so engulfed in this match, I didn't take a lot of notes. it's all going to come off of memory and basically just what I saw and memory and emotion and just everything else. And with that being said, second minute, Foden calls for the ball, top of the box, and just fires a shot into the top corner. And I was so fired up. I was like, we're going to do it. I was worried before. I didn't want another 93-20. I didn't want another 3 goals in, I think, 5 minutes and 36 seconds it was against Villa. I didn't want to have to go through that. And Foden said, I'm him. I'm here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to win us this title. And he did it. He scored in the second minute immediately. Called for the ball. Took the shot in signature Foden fashion. His 6th goal from outside the box. Twice as many as any other player in the Premier League this year. And that was kind of it. First 10 minutes, we dominated. West Ham barely had a touch. Kept dominating. Doku got the ball on the wing. Slots it across to Foden. 1-touch finish. And there's Foden's second goal. And I haven't gone over it yet. I've been burying it just in case anybody didn't know. But that's why he was Player of the Year. So Foden officially won Player of the Year. I didn't know if he was going to win it. I've seen the videos of players saying that he should win. And as much as I wanted to believe it, I didn't fully believe it just because he's a City player. And, now we've won it 5 years in a row, which is incredible. We have the best players in the world. And for Foden to win it, it makes me so beyond happy for him to win it. I mean, it's no question he's my favorite player, 100%. I got his jersey right there. It's just incredible. He's an incredible player, and it's more than deserved. 23 years old, 6 Premier League titles, best season of his career. And I don't know if I said it on the podcast here or not, but earlier this year I was thinking this is going to be his breakout season, and I think the stars aligned before the season started, or not even before the season started. Before the season started is when I was thinking it. The stars aligned during the season. De Bruyne goes down early in the first match. Someone's got to step up. Then Haaland goes down. Someone's got to step up. And who else was it going to be? It had to be him. It had to be. And it makes me so happy. It's his, like I said, he's 23 years old. He's got 10 good years ahead of him, at least. So, incredible for him. Like I said, more than happy. Like I said, he's my favorite player. And, he's one of our own. And that's just it. He's one of our own. The moment wasn't too big. And I've seen, all the Twitter warriors coming out and, oh, he's not good and I don't rate Foden and blah, blah, blah. All this fucking bullshit. Like, get the fuck out of here. Literally. Like, it's ridiculous because if you have all these apparent people who are fans, I guess, and I don't know where the hell all these Arsenal pages are coming from. I swear to God, I mute 5 a day, and there's still more of them, and I don't know who follows these pages because they're just absolutely spewing bullshit. But, it's not about the stats. He statistically, he had his best season, but it's not even about that. It's what he does outside of the stats, and that was the whole point of the Spurs match. He won us that match without making a statistical impact. And you can look at his goals and his assists and his match rating and his average match rating. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Because other players, when they take penalties or take corners and they get an assist off a corner, they score the penalty, your match rating is automatically going to go up. It's obviously not going to just stay the same. When he's not doing that, it's not going to be boosted by that. He doesn't get the free boost like they do. So, he had to earn it every step of the way. And it's just incredible. So, credit to him. He was incredible. He won us this title. Whether it was this match or other matches later or earlier in the year, he won us this title. And he stepped up when the moment was there, when he needed to. He stepped up and really just did that. He won us this title. So I don't think we've even seen the best of him. I really don't. And speaking of players we haven't seen the best of, Jeremy Doku played an incredible match. One-on-one, I think he's honestly, one-on-one, he might be the hardest player to stop in the league, if not in the world. And I know players like Mbappe exist. I haven't seen Mbappe dribble at players that fast, that to move his feet that fast, and the way he just glides past people. And I'm not trying to create clickbait or whatever saying that Doku's better than Mbappe. I'm just saying dribbling wise and taking on defender one-on-one, I think Doku is better. Now, of course, Mbappe's better at finishing and all this other stuff. So I'm not trying to compare him. I'm just comparing him on that alone. One-on-one, taking on defender, Jeremy Doku might be the best in the world. And I don't think that's that outrageous of a statement to make, in all honesty. But what an incredible match for him. So, we were up 2. Everton went up. They showed the video of the Emirates, and people started leaving already. I got a good chuckle out of that. But it's, of course, we have to keep it and leave it late. So we took on too much pressure. I feel like we let off a little bit. We allowed too much space on a corner. Kudus was allowed to set himself up for a bicycle kick. And credit to him, what an incredible finish. I don't know how he let him set himself up with a touch to set up a bicycle kick, but it worked out in the end. It 2-1 at half. We went on into the second half. They kind of found a way to neutralize Doku a little bit just by sending 2 defenders at him for pretty much the whole second half. But, it was a little tough at times. We forced our attack. And then Rodri with an Istanbul moment. It shades of Istanbul, in all honesty, because the finish was almost identical. So Barry's in the bottom corner. 3-1, 59th minute. Match is over. Celebrate the title. And, is a special moment. One other moment I want to bring up. So earlier this week, it was talked about getting rid of VAR because Wolves have proposed that. West Ham scored a goal, hit in with the arm, just straight up hitting it in. The goal was given. I think you'd have to be blind to not see it was hit in with an arm, but the goal was given. It was called back. But if we get rid of VAR, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see goals like that just given, and nothing can be done about it. So I don't want to take away from our championship moment and talk about officiating, but I'm just going to have a little bit on it here. The problem isn't VAR. The problem is the people running it, and they don't know how to. Other leagues in Europe have no issue. We never hear of any issues. That's the simple thing. Get rid of the officials, bring in new ones. They can't get the job done, get rid of them, bring in new ones. Until you have competent officials who can get the job done, keep switching them out, in my opinion. Best answer. But man of the match had to be Foden. It was always going to be Foden. And wow, incredible. So our player of the year, and what a player he is. But like I said, I never lost faith in our team. And I never will. I will never lose faith in this team. Never lose faith in this badge. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And it's just amazing. So just a few other points. Gonna get a little bit of some rants out here. So the broadcast in the United States by NBC 2 years ago, when we were up against Liverpool, where were they? At Anfield. Because who knows why. We went in leading. They decide they need to go to Anfield. Then this year comes up against Arsenal. Where are they? At the Emirates. As far as I'm concerned, if they want to come back and do a broadcast, the U.S. broadcast, I don't think they should be welcome at the Etihad, because I don't want them there, in all honesty. You're showing your alliance to who you are supporting and who you want to win. And it's just ridiculous. Like, we were 3 times champions, 3 in a row, and you decided in a title race that we were leading to go to the Emirates. For what reason? For what reason does that make any sense? For the reason of bias and wanting someone else to win. And you know what? I hope you guys hate us, and I hope you had a miserable day yesterday. And speaking of miserable people and miserable days, Arsenal, Liverpool, United, all of them can't lose with class. You know, it's always, oh, we lost because they cheated. I'd rather be a fan of Arsenal and lose. Cool. I will take my 4 in a row. You be a fan that's rather lose. That's the mentality difference, because that's the mentality of your club. You came to us and you sat back and you played a weak style. You sat back, didn't even try to win the match, and you guys cheered a draw. Every draw to me feels like a loss. Every single one. So you're going to sit here and cheer draws. You don't deserve to win a title. You don't have the mentality to win a title. Your players don't have the mentality to win a title if you're going to sit back like that and not come at us. Plain and simple. That's why we won 4 in a row. That's why we made history. That's why we're treble winners. Why we're Centurions. Everything. All these accomplishments that we've done. Keep moving the goalpost for us and we will keep scoring every single time. It doesn't matter. We're here. You can try to say 115 and all this crap. I'm not crying. Only tears I've had in the past couple years about this team have been tears of joy. Because I've watched my team do things that no other club has ever done in the history of football and the history of English football. So you guys can say everything. Whatever makes you guys cope better, good for you. Round of applause. Congrats. But at the end of the day, you can't lose with class. So, fuck off. Fuck right off. Because I don't give a fuck. I've kept my mouth shut all season. And I've seen nonstop Arsenal fans. Oh, we're so much better. We're going to win. What'd you do when it came down to it? You didn't. You bottled it again. Liverpool fans. Oh, we're going to win. We're so much better. You were out weeks ago. Weeks ago. And United? Have fun in your fucking battle for 10th. Because I don't want to hear shit. You guys aren't shit. None of you. Your clubs are all fucking garbage. So like I said, I've kept my mouth shut for weeks, and I'm over it. We won the title, 4 in a row. Match that. When you can do that, match that. Right there, on the wall. Best team in the world. Right there. Treble winners. Treble winners. Match it. Match it and I'll shut up. Because I've had to hear for months about all your bullshit. All your bullshit. I walk around here in the United States and I get people yelling fucking crap to me about, oh, City sucks, United's better. Fuck off. Fuck right off. You guys haven't fucking beat us in 11 years. You don't know shit. Have people yelling at me that Foden's trash. Well, if Foden's trash, then your fucking favorite player's trash too. Because Foden's one of the best players in the fucking world. And I'm over it. So I didn't come here to rant. I came here to celebrate. But at the end of the day, I don't want to hear this. And I don't want to hear this bullshit of, oh, City's boring to watch. I'm sick of watching them win titles. If you're sick of watching us win titles, then find out how to beat us. Because the only way you guys can compete is sitting back, the low block, park the bus, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's anti-football. If you really think you can beat us, then come and actually beat us. Show that you can beat us. Because the only 2 teams that showed that they wanted to compete with us at any point this year because they didn't sit back with the low block were Chelsea and Liverpool. And the next closest was Luton. Relegated Luton. Put up more of a fight than Arsenal and Manchester United. A mighty Arsenal and mighty Manchester United. So I don't want to hear it. You guys can't even put up as much of a fight as Luton. You can't come out and lose with the kind of class that they can. So, enjoy not winning titles. I will enjoy winning titles. Plain and simple. And for anybody who wants to say, oh, these teams are so much better, United, blah, blah, blah. United average 88 points on their title winning seasons. We average 93. Plain and simple. We've raised the bar. You guys can keep moving the goalpost, but we'll keep raising the bar higher and higher and be doing things that nobody else has done. And that brings me right into next week. We have a chance to do something again that nobody else has done. No team has done the domestic double in back-to-back seasons, and our players want it. They want it, and there's no reason we shouldn't be able to beat the 8th place team. So we know who United are. We know that we're better. I'm not doing a big preview on this match in all honesty because, like I said, we're better. Plain and simple, we're the better team. That's it. We're better than them. I've seen the lineups they've been putting out. They've been not it. So 4 in a row, title winners, treble winners, Centurions. I am so happy I support this club. God damn, I love this fucking club. So thank you guys for listening. That's all I got. I'll talk to you guys next week after the FA Cup. Don't forget, merch is available. The link is in my bio on Instagram and Twitter. Listening to the podcast, you can listen on Amazon, Apple, Spotify, and Google. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, at Citizens Fancast. Like I said, these videos will be going back up on YouTube now. Subscribe there. You can go back and watch them if you would like. If you don't want to, don't do it. I don't care. But please subscribe because, like I said, there will be more content on the way. So thank you guys again for listening. 4 Pete. We did it. 4 in a row. No other club has done it.